Oh, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Leo. Your opening is always so beautiful. Good morning, family. My name is Keith Greer, and I'm going to be reading the Daily Word today. However, before I do that, I just want to, it occurred to me that this is the first Sunday in October. October is Indigenous Peoples Month, and I thought I'd read a little something that the New York City Commission on Human Rights acknowledges this land, politically designated as New York City, specifically Manhattan, the land that Unity of New York is on, to be the homeland of the Lenape Nation, who were violently displaced as a result of European settler colonialism over the course of 400 years. Let us take a breath in solidarity with this acknowledgement. And now, for the Daily Word, Sunday, October 2nd, 2022. Kindness. Kindness is the language of my heart. I set the intention today to give from my heart, to show compassion and kindness to everyone I meet. I begin by being kind to myself. I take time for spiritual self-care and prioritize good nutrition, relaxation, and exercise. I am gentle with myself when I come up short, filling my self-talk with words of affirmation and compassion. Being kind to myself makes being kind to others easy and natural. I am patient and understanding, and I seek harmony and accord in my relationships. I let the small irritations go, remaining calm and pleasant. I look for ways to lighten the load of others and don't hesitate to offer a helping hand. My kindness helps create the kingdom of heaven on earth. And from Matthew 25:35, for I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. Yes, the daily word. And so there are many different ways to pray. And one of the first ways to pray is that silent unity, right? 1-800-NOW-PRAY, 669-7729. I'm on there almost every single day. Another way to pray is the You Pray app, which is also connected to Silent Unity, where you can pray, you can have affirmations, you can even do some meditation. And then, of course, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have the Unity of New York prayer call. It's a guided 5-minute prayer that goes out around the world, connecting to people around the world. It's a free conference call, and the number is 1-267-807-9605 with an access code of 798460 hashtag. And of course, we have the Prayer Chaplain program giving monthly prayer calls. I just made my monthly prayer call as a prayer chaplain. And let me tell you, if you are not getting a monthly prayer call from Unity of New York, you're missing out on one of the wonderful things that we have to offer. To get on the list, to get those prayer calls, email info@unityofnewyork.org. Get on that list, get a prayer every month. So anyways, thank you all for the privilege of allowing me to do the daily word and lead us in prayer. Um, let's move on to Marie Ann Marengo.
There was a time struggling just to make it through another day. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for
Yay! Wait a minute, what's going on? I'm usually here reading the Daily Word. Good morning, good morning. Hi, everybody. Sarah Dacy Charles here. I usually open the service and read the Daily Word, but today I am your platform person and happy to be so. First off, oh my goodness, thank you, Marianne Maringolo, for that wonderful rendition of I Release. We are so blessed to have you in our, deep bench of talent, and that you share your exquisite voice with us is beyond. Thank you, Keith. Oh my God, to hear you just tell us about prayer, and thank you for educating us about Indigenous Peoples Day. What an honor that is to hold that in our community and know that truth. And thank you, Leo Denault. I am personally always inspired by your pre-service, the countdown. It truly opens my heart and prepares me to receive this wonderful Sunday celebration. So thank you all. And here we are. Let's have a wonderful service today. So I want to let you know, if you don't know already, Carlos is our speaker today. We're so excited as he, tends to open up the month and really get us going. And Marianne Maringolo is our vocalist throughout the service, so we get to hear more of her wonderful artistry. So I welcome you, and let us open ourselves up as we remind ourselves of the Unity of New York mission and vision statements. Let's say it together, or just read along with me. Unity of New York's mission is to provide a spiritual home where community may gather and know that all good comes from God within. And our vision that we hold is a world consciously unified in love, that leaves no one out and invites everyone in. What extraordinary statements those are. So we have a lot to going on at Unity. So before we get to our wonderful talk, I want to and invite Leo to help me educate you and inform you about what all is going on. So we're going to ask Zoe to tell us all about it. Zoe?
Unity of New York continues to offer classes, groups, and workshops virtually on Zoom. For Zoom links, email info@unityofnewyork.org. Sunday mornings, join Unity of New York teachers for The Quest, a pre-service spiritual discussion group at 9:30 a.m. The weekly discussions are based on a chosen topic or book. Everyone is welcome to join at any time. Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m., join Unity of New York Staff Minister Reverend Sean Moninger for his weekly spiritual discussions. All are welcome and encouraged to join. Wednesdays at 10 a.m., Senior Minister Reverend Britt Hall leads our weekly dose of fellowship at the Community Connections Hour with co-host John Canary. Pop in to see some friendly Unity of New York faces and share what's going on in your world. Or just listen. Everyone is welcome to join. Twice a month on Wednesday evenings, Reverend Chris DiGiorgio leads Unity Pride, a gay men's spirituality group. For specific dates, check the events calendar on our website. For more details on all of Unity of New York activities, please visit our website at unityofnewyork.org. And as you continue to navigate through your lives, please remember that Unity of New York is always here for you. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to us at info@unityofnewyork.org, and someone will get back to you as soon as possible.
Hello, Reverend Ken here, and I am excited to announce a new joint venture between Unity San Francisco and Unity of New York. Britt and I have brainstormed and come up with this new course. It's called New Flight, an absolute abundance course for permanent prosperity. You see, I've discovered that to remain truly prosperous, I must remain in beginner's mind. When I think I don't need that or I already know that, I can block the flow of good in my life. And then it's amazing how quickly negative thinking and patterns reappear in my life. So I have created this course for those who wish to remain on the pathway to permanent prosperity. New Flight is a 7-week booster shot for those advanced abundance students looking to reinvigorate their prosperity consciousness. Together, we will determine what works for us, where we need support, and where we can let go of what no longer serves us. The subjects we will cover include removing the blocks, looking at money, positive personal inventory, visioning the future, and many others. So join us for this tithing-based course and dive deep into your own personal prosperity. I look forward to seeing you in class. Namaste.
Oh my God, we weren't kidding. There is so much going on here, and I invite you to take advantage of everything, of all the classes that are going on, and this new class by Ken Daigle. Wow, that looks really, really exciting. I can personally attest that not only is Ken a spectacular human and was a congregant, an active congregant here at Unity of New York before he became a full-fledged minister, but I've taken some classes with him and he's an amazing teacher. So I really invite you to take advantage of that. And it's starting so soon, October 2nd. So today is the first Sunday of October. And as you know, that's generally when Carlos speaks, but it's also birthday Sunday. What does that mean? That means
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
so if you are a birthday baby in October, everyone here at Unity of New York wishes you happy birthday. Thank you, Leo. I love that. I loved seeing that every month. So now, moving on, we're going to introduce you and bring on our beloved Reverend Carlos Wayne Anderson. Wow. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting to be on the screen with you, be in the virtual room with you, my friend.
I feel about you, my sister.
Oh, you, I love you so much and have so much respect for you and just, I get to tell you that right now. Yay. So there. Um, Carlos, we're
I
so
feel
excited
the
to
same
hear you
about you.
today. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm looking forward to speaking the word, allowing the word to
Yeah,
be spoken through me.
it really does move through you. And you are such a blessing. So I will see you on the other end where before we get you, on get you rolling, let's introduce Marianne to tee us up with a beautiful song. Thank you
Yeah.
all.
One day love may be all we really need. One day we might see life is like a dream. Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Father. One day there will be no guilt between you and me. Someday we will grow out of these beliefs. Some way fear may be something we don't need. No more blaming, no more shaming. One day we will know love eternally. One day. And on that day we'll meet the promised land. All we take from life is love we have. Illusions break away like panes of glass. And we will be as one, as one. One day. One day we will know this place was not our home. One day we will greet everyone we know. No more lying, no more dying. One day we will know that I am you and you are me. Yes, I am you and we are free.
Wow. Thank you so much, Marianne. It is so wonderful for us to be reminded of the truth that we are one self, united with our Creator, at one with every aspect of creation, and that we are limitless in power and in peace. The power and the peace that comes with knowing I am you, you are me. We are God's body. It is so wonderful. Well, today I want to be talking about how amazing you are and what a change maker you are. Today I want to take a moment to remind you of how you have forwarded heaven on planet Earth in more ways than you will ever know. When the reading of the daily word was happening, it occurred to me the word today, kind, kindness. And I know one thing about me, and I know it about you. The thing I know about me is that I have not always been kind in every moment. I have not always been compassionate. I have not always been uplifting. I have not always been nourishing. I have not always been loving. I've not always been empathetic. But I have sometimes. I have at times been kind. I have been compassionate. I have been loving. And I have been uplifting. And this is no small thing. And so if you are like me and you listen to the daily word or read it for yourself, and you can focus your attention on the moments in your life where you have fallen short of being your best possible self. We all know that we have not always been loving or caring or kind or compassionate or uplifting. But I would like us not to be discouraged about those moments. I would like us today to focus upon the true reality that we have had our moments of being God made flesh, demonstrating the kindness, the love, and the compassion of the Creator who created us to be these things and to extend these things. One of my daddy's favorite songs was a song made popular by the singer Mahalia Jackson. Just a few brief words that really, really impressed me as a child, and that continued to impress me. These are the words of the song in brief. If I can help somebody as I travel on, if I can lift somebody with a word or a song, if I can catch someone who may be going wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody as I travel on, if I can lift somebody with a word or a song, if I can catch a brother or a sister who seem to be going wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. There are no small acts of kindness. There is great power in every moment of our extending kindness, love, and compassion. You have extended these things many, many times in many, many ways as a gift to many, many brothers and sisters who are you, reflections of yourself. This has never been a small thing. Seemingly little things are really big things. Most all of us can bring to mind the movie It's a Wonderful Life about a man, George Bailey, whose dreams of traveling kept being deferred. All he wanted was to travel the world and have grand adventures. But it turns out he never was able to leave his little town of Bedford Falls. He felt like his life had had no meaning. It had fallen short of his own expectations of it. Why were his dreams deferred? Stuck in Bedford Falls is how some of us, at many times, feel that we have not accomplished what we desired to. We have not gone to the many places or done the many things that we hoped for. It is easy sometimes to think of our lives as having very little meaning and as not being grand events of changing the world. Today, I want you to know your life is a grand event, and your life has changed the world. There is no other like you. The story of George Bailey was not a story of a man whose life had meaning because it was what he wanted to do. It was the story of a man whose life had meaning simply because he was alive, doing what he did, being kind, compassionate, understanding, and uplifting. It's not a wonderful life because all of our dreams come true. It's a wonderful life because we, here living day to day in our relationships, are forwarding heaven on planet Earth. My brother, Reverend Paul Tenalia, has known me for many, many years, many decades. And we were friends in Florida when I had an experience. It's the experience that sponsors my talk title for today. How could you have known? But before we get to Florida, with me being with Paul, we must go back to earlier years when I lived in New York. I had come from small town Amherst, Massachusetts, to be an actor and a singer in New York City. My agents and my manager had one principal issue with me when I was a young man in New York City, auditioning for parts, going for being in show business. They told me over and over again, you're a really good show, but not so hot on business. They actually told me you're too loving, you're too kind, you're too giving, you're too sharing. They would remind me over and over that show business is a cutthroat world. Carlos, you can't be telling other actors about auditions. Carlos, you can't be so sharing with your information. Carlos, be harder. Be tougher. It's a cutthroat world, this show business. They basically told me that I needed to pretend. I needed to be sure that I got all the casting agents' names, that I would find out if they were married or not and remember their spouse's name. If they had children, remember their children's name. Find out when their birthdays are, bring them a card. They basically wanted me to court each casting director as though they were the apple of my eye. I just couldn't stop being Carly. I loved people. I was an open-faced sandwich. But I wasn't going to do anything that was out of my sense of just being me. I'm not a cutthroat person. I'm an open-faced sandwich. I'm not a hoarder. I'm a sharer. If I hear about an audition for young Black men who are thin and about 6 feet tall, I'm going to tell my friends who are young Black men, thin and about 6 feet tall, there's an audition you might want to attend. But even though I didn't act the act and do the right thing, I managed to get some parts here and there. I did Lots of what's called under 5 work, under 5 lines and soap operas. I did commercials. I traveled to several places that were wonderful doing commercials, bit parts. At some point, I had a leading role in a Black radio soap opera called Sounds of the City, and that was wonderful. But the biggest opportunity that I had was that after a series of auditions, I was chosen to be a recurring regular on the most popular show in New York City at the time. The show was called Kojak with Telly Savalas, and it was the main thing going on. Everybody tried to get on that show. And finally, after a series of auditions, they cast Carlos Wayne Anderson in a recurring principal role on Kojak. I thought it was the biggest thing that could ever happen to me. I was so filled with excitement. This is one of Reverend Paul Tenalia's favorite experiences of me. On the way to my first day of shooting, I took the subway in plenty of time to arrive on set in plenty of time for my first day of shooting on the biggest show in New York, Kojak, with Telly Savalas. When the subway got into the vicinity of where we were shooting, I remember running up the stairs onto the street with nothing on my mind but, yay God, Kojak. When I got to the top of the stairs, there was a woman sitting on the ground just outside of the entrance to the subway. She had a sign unlike any other sign that I had seen. Her sign, in big black letters, written with a black magic marker, said this: "Notice me. I'm here." That caught my attention, and I remember looking in closer. She was sitting there, and both of her hands were mangled. Both of her hands were gnarled. There was a little cup in front of her, and some people had put some change and some dollar bills in there. "Notice me," her sign said. "I'm here." All I remember was stooping down and looking into my sister's eyes. I was there to notice her. That's all I had in mind. I squatted down. I reached out. I held her gnarled, mangled hands, and I looked into her eyes. I know that there was some speaking. I know I said some things to her. I know that she explained a bit about her life and her life condition to me. I know that I put money into her cup. And I remember being lost in my connection with my sister. After quite a while, the one thought that had been on my mind for weeks, and certainly on my mind as I took the subway on my mind when I ran up the stairs, had left my mind completely for I don't know how long. And then it returned. My God, Kojak. I'm supposed to be on the set of Kojak. I remember standing up and excusing myself. I told the woman where I was going and why I had to rush away. And then I went running up the street and around the corner. And I got to the area where the set was up and my agent was there. And when my agent saw me, my agent looked at me in a way that was like he was spitting bullets at me. He shook his head. I remember him telling me, I cannot believe that you would sabotage this opportunity. And then he let me know, you may as well turn around and go home. I've recast you. The person who has taken your place is on his way. I remember saying, it can't be too late. It can't be too late. It can't be too late. Please, please. No. You've sabotaged this opportunity. You won't have this role. I've replaced you with Roger. I remember leaving, wondering how I was going to tell my parents, how I was going to tell my friends, how I was going to even live with myself. Well, I tried to feel really bad, but I couldn't. I knew that I had blown something big, but I knew that I would carry on with my life. Some 12 years later, I was no longer an actor in New York. I had been a singer singing along with a man, Johnny Earl. Johnny Earl I met at Ted Hook's backstage at a time when Little Foxes with Elizabeth Taylor was playing at the theater right next door. Our casting agents and managers said that you should hang out at Ted Hook's backstage one day because there are a lot of casting directors who are there. One may see you and find that you're just right for a role. But I actually went there to meet Johnny Earl, to sing with him. Years later, after singing in show business in New York and Philadelphia and Miami and many places, Johnny decided that he no longer wanted to do show business. I had introduced him to unity. Now he wanted only to sing for God. And so we did. And we were a hit throughout the 80s. And I was so happy. About 12 years after losing the role on Kojak, me so happy in my partnership with Johnny had just finished a concert in Naples, Florida, Unity of Naples, a beautiful church. After we did our concert, as usual, there was a long hug line. And I'm hugging people in the hug line, and I'm accepting their appreciation, and I'm appreciating them. At some point, there was a woman and a husband who get to me in the hug line, and they are both crying. They're trembling. She says, "You don't remember me." I look at her. She looks a bit familiar, but I can't download from where. She says, "I'm so glad that I saw your flyer." I turned to my husband and said, "This is him. This is the guy I told you about. This is the guy my family knows about. This is the guy I have testified about for years." Giving a concert at Unity of Naples, where I live. The husband was sobbing. I said, "I'm sorry, I don't know where I know you from." She said, "I never saw you on Kojak. I looked for you." As soon as she said Kojak, she began to become more familiar to me. I remember that I glanced down at her hands thinking, is she the woman who was sitting there? No, she couldn't be. That woman had gnarled hands. She went on to testify. And she kept saying over and over, "How could you have known? How could you have known? How could you have known that you noticed me? And when you stood up to run to the set of Kojak, by the time you got to the corner, before you turned, a burning sensation came into my hands. They became as hot as fire, but it was a comfortable heat, a comfortable fire. She said my fingers began to unnarl. She put her hands up to show me. Her husband was sobbing. "I've heard about you all these years," he said. And she kept repeating, "How could you have known?" Well, everyone gathered around in that hug line, including me and Johnny, were sobbing and sobbing. She was right. How could I ever have known that just giving her a little time, a little attention, a little notice was not a small thing? It was cosmic in its impact. Wow. George Bailey, how could you have known? How could you have known that if not for your life touching the lives of others, the world would not be such a bright place? George got to see that just because he was alive in Bedford Falls, his brother was alive. His wife had a partner. His family business was saved. I've not always been kind. I've not always been loving or uplifting or compassionate or understanding. You have not always either. But we have been. We have at times been fully kind, fully compassionate, fully understanding. And these have never been small things. One day you will be able to see the movie of your life. You will be able to see how you, in living your life, you, just as you are, with nothing needing to be added or taken away, you, in Bedford Falls, have forward heaven on planet Earth. You have made this wonderful life even more wonderful in the lives of more than you can count. Be you not weary in your well-doing, for in due season you will reap, if you faint not. It's as simple as that song, one of my daddy's favorites. If I can help somebody as I travel on, if I can lift somebody with a word or a song, if I can catch somebody who seemed to be going wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. You are the light of the world. Go shining. Let's go within. How could I have known the power of my influence, the power of my light, the influence of my love? How could I have known that I am one who has made a difference, that every smile I have given, every outreach of a hand to hold, to uplift, every looking deep into the eyes of another's soul, in thanksgiving for their being. How could I have known the cosmic effects of every act of kindness I have extended? I had heard that love is the only power, and something within me knows that every moment of my extending love to anyone, anywhere, at any time has changed the entire universe. How could I have known the power of one child of God to set alight another child of God, just with a smile, a notice? We all want to be noticed. We all wish to be seen. I have noticed and seen many, and I may not have ever known the effect of the blessing it is to be seen and noticed and embraced. Every act of kindness is a miracle, miraculous in its power, beyond all earthly comprehension. If I have helped somebody as I travel on, then my living has not been in vain. If I have lifted somebody with a word or a song, then my living has not been in vain. So my living has not been in vain. I am the light of the world, come to shine away the shadow, and I have in little moments that are cosmic in their impact. God in me, increase these moments. I am the light of the world. I will go shining. I have spoken. It is written. It is law. It is done.
If we only have love, then tomorrow will dawn, and the days of our years will rise on their morn. If we only have love to embrace without fears, we will kiss with our eyes, we will sleep without tears. If we only have love, love that's falling like rain, then the parched desert earth will grow green again. If we only have love that's falling like rain, then the parched desert earth
Wow, Marie Ann.
Wow, wow, Marie
Leo.
Ann singing from Jacques Brel, that amazing song by
Wow.
Carlos. Thank you,
Ooh.
Marie Ann. That was magnificent. And Carlos. Come on now. That was amazing. Oh, so you, wow.
How could
What a
you,
message. What a message.
Laura
How could
Days?
you have known? I mean, and your story particularly just, I know what's coming. I've heard this story before, and it's like when you're about to see the end of a movie, then you're like, oh no, he's about to um, lose this dream. And then what to have the opportunity, that what was that like to know
It,
that you were part of somebody's miracle?
it was indescribable. I thought how easily that could have never happened. How easily she could have missed that flyer, how she could not have been in Naples, how I could have never met her, never known. And I realized about you right now, Sarah. How could you have known? I mean, I'm not the only person that has affected that level of God demonstration. Each of us has.
Mm.
Many of us have not come across the evidence of it like I was blessed to, but I'm not the Lone Ranger, Sarah Daisy Charles. You, could you, my sister, have known what you have done for me? How could you have known? Lest I testify. So let me testify.
Oh
Sarah,
dear.
my sister, how could you have known that in some of my darkest treks through the valley, in my dark nights of the soul, just the sound of your voice, the look of your face, a touch, a thought of you has lifted me out of darkness and into the marvelous light. I want everybody under the sound of my voice to know what I know. You have been amazing. You have changed the world. So at least, Sarah, no, you have changed mine. I didn't have gnarled hands, Sarah, that got on fire and stretched out. But my confusion in my mind has been shined away by the light that you are, the light that each of you are. I am so grateful my cup runneth over today. Hallelujah.
Oof. My heart is vibrating, and I I I feel that you are telling me exactly what I need to hear.
Mm.
Um, you delicious open face sandwich. And I
All
want
right.
to invite everybody, I see 63 people, 63 computers. You are that. You are that miracle. And every day we feel like we're just stuck in Bedford Falls, right? Or we've disappointed ourselves. We feel that I have to be on Kojak to matter. What if we mattered now more than we'll ever know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. More
So,
than ever know, Sarah. More than we will ever know. Until we get to see the movie of our life on the other side. Wow, we're going to blow our own mind. We're going to knock our own socks off. I know it. I know it. I know it.
whew, all right. So now let's let's all open ourselves up to the idea of what we call love offering or sacred exchange. Carlos, if you have any thoughts on that subject, um, share them with us, or we'll just go straight to our love offering. But I want to give you a chance because, dang, you always have something amazing.
I just want to remind us that we're always investing in something. Always. We're always showing what we value. And if we get what we get from this spiritual community, if we value it, we will demonstrate that value. Giving of our tithes and our offerings to the source of our spiritual good, to the welcome table that has welcomed us, that is forwarding us in our capacity to deepen our understanding of who we are, whose we are, and how blessed we are. We will show that we value it. We will extend our tithes, we will extend our offerings so that this place continues to grow and flourish and nourish us. It's fun.
It's
Here for it.
fun. We're always at choice on how on what we place our value on, starting right here. So, Carlos, Wayne Anderson, beloved Reverend, thank you, thank you, thank you. You've done it again, my friend. You've done it again.
I'm you,
So,
you're me, we're one.
we are one. All right, now let's turn it over to the wonderful Leo Denault. Would you show us the 4 ways to give to Unity?
Well, I most certainly will. What a service. Oh my goodness. You can go to our website, unityofnewyork.org, click the donate tab at the top of the page and follow the prompts. Super easy on your phone. PayPal.me/unityofny. You can text the word give to 718-313-3674 or just mail a check to the office, Unity of New York. 225 West 99th Street, New York, New York, 10025. Those are the ways to give back to your spiritual home.
So let's bless that as we like to bless it in advance with this affirmation. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and so it is. Amen. And here we are at the end of our just delicious celebratory service. Thank you all for being here and for watching. So we're going to close us out, and we'll send you off on having an amazing day. Let's close out with our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. It's been really delicious and a privilege to be your platform person today. And I just can't wait to see you next time. Have a great day. Bye now.
Let's celebrate who we are. Let the festivities Vamos a bailar. Like Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera, we paint a picture, the world stops and stares. Like Carlos Santana, feel the music inside. J-Lo and Shakira make your body come alive. Nosotros juntos, el tiempo es now. Colombia, España, Caribe, everybody in the house. Nosotros juntos, it's time to celebrate. Chile, Argentina, México, and Uruguay celebrate. Wherever you come from, wherever you are, en todo el mundo, shine bright like a star. And dance, dance, dance to the rhythm in tu corazón. Dance, dance, dance to the rhythm, join the celebración. Celebrate, we celebrate. We celebrate, celebrate. We celebrate, we celebrate. Severo Ochoa looked inside our DNA. Ellen Ochoa took our dreams to outer space. As we write a story, the Latin experience comes alive. Allende, Darío, Neruda got stories in every style. Yeah, our culture is rich and delicious. Got thousands of wonderful dishes. Tacos y ropa vieja, chapulines, mole, paella. We take care of our people in need. Jose Andrés got a hunger to feed. Siempre comida, amor que servir. Celia Cruz got a song we can sing. Azúcar. Nosotros juntos, el tiempo es now. Honduras, Panamá, Perú, everybody in the house. Nosotros juntos, it's time to celebrate. Cuba, Costa Rica, Ecuador, and Paraguay. Wherever you come from, wherever you are, en todo el mundo, shine bright like a
very Christ that you are.